Hello, everybody. It's summertime. I'm going to do a silk fan with um, a Chinese landscape painting after Ma Yuan. He is a very famous um, master in the Southern Song Dynasty in the 12th century. This painting is called Viewing Plum Blossom by the Moonlight. It's kind of like a Gombe landscape. So I use silk and some brushes similar to Gombe liner, detailed brushes. So this is good for the outline, and this medium also. And then this large could be a wash brush. It's made of synthetic hair, and you can find a link in the video description. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is to outline the contour of the tree, the plum blossom. So I have one drop of ink here. You want to get rid of the water, so it's not going to drip. Just use pretty pure ink. And here's my design. You can also see the color version on my screen. Okay. I have this another copy of this black and white template on the other side of this translucent silk. It's a sized silk. It's not going to penetrate through, but I can see through it. I put something behind so I can kind of keep it tight. If it's loose, it's kind of it's good though. You can see the effect of painting if you want to. So I'm going to start with. Usually I start from the middle part of the tree. So let's do this front branch first here. What's in the front goes first. My summer class is in brick. My year-round class is in brick right now. The summer class will start next week. Today, on Thursdays again. So you can sign up if you live in Southern California. So you can also follow us on YouTube by sign up to a mailing list, so you can get the same handout like this before the class, and a recording of the video after the class, and I will help you by email if you send the your finished copy or practice. I will try to answer the questions at the end of the class, the live class, but my priority is the in-person student in the classroom. So yeah, basically I'll call you the uh, online students are auditing the live class, but you can type in your questions. So if we have a chance during the like a short break, I will address them in the class or answer it later. So it's a hybrid kind of, but not on Zoom, because Zoom is too formal. I mean, it it takes too much to take care of both online and Zoom. But on YouTube, yeah, I can do that. We already have the class broadcasted live in the past 6 months, so you probably already watched it. So now you can have chance formally get on my mailing list, so you can receive the handout. If you just continue to watch it live, it was still available, every Thursday from 10 to 12. Sometimes it's a little bit late, I have to set up. So something like the 10. If it's not live, you can just wait a few minutes or 10 minutes. Because it's a live in-person class, so I haven't missed any session since January. So you can just watch it free here. But if you want to get more serious and get personal help and join the discussion, we have a email communication. You can join the class. It's only $10 per session. For like 11 class, it's cost only $110 for in-person class also. So I have to drive like 1 hour in peak hours, because usually it takes like 30 minutes or something like that. But to make sure I get to the classroom, I have to drive 1 hour at least ahead of time from my home to the city of Alhambra, Joslyn Center. You can find the information in the video description under this video. Okay. So I do the front part first, and then the branches behind. And this brush is very delicate, especially good for curvy lines. It's also good for this kind of angular lines. It's made of synthetic hair. And here is another branch in front of the trunk. I have to do this first. Okay, I also me. So you can really see. And there's a little arc hole, tree hole. Let's just add a little bit texture. Maybe we can do that later. Just concentrate on the contour first. This one is in the front. Make sure it's solid. And this is behind and form a triangular, nice negative shape. Okay, because this silk does not really smear, so I can load a little more ink. And this branch crossing the trunk in the front. And look at how free this artist is. It doesn't really bound by the physical tree. You can see where I don't know where this branch coming from, just like it from the sky. It's okay. As, you know, overall it must be reasonable, but not all the details like that. So here are all the way double line, and then we have a move into 10 single seam, still double line. Okay, here we have the turning point. This joint must be heavy, and then kind of very sharp turn, angular. Okay, and going up, and this is a bonehead, right at the tip. Nail head, yeah, nail head, teardrop, small nail head strokes. This hair thing or needle thing lines. This brush always bounces to the original shape. You only use the tip, provided that you only use the tip. It's okay to deviate a little bit but the line itself must be very certain, firm, and confident, straight. In other words, okay. So I think it's a style that the artists just make hard cross. It reminds us that this is a painting. It's not a picture. It's not a photograph. And it's just like a set of brushwork to express the calligraphy, the land script of this tree, or tree script, whatever. It's like you'll find the pattern of the three everywhere, like a horn of a deer. To hold the brush straight is the basic skill you have to learn to adjust, not like a pencil. So you can use the tip, and you can draw in all 8 directions, not just like that or that, but like this. To warm up, you can do practice like this. Just draw like a circle, and then the other direction. Until it exhausts. And also the straight line practice. Nail head stroke. Nail head rat tail. This bone stroke, a nail head stroke, very important. It gives you a sense of movement because you know where it starts, where it ends, like calligraphy. If the lines are even, it's called tracing. It's not writing. So we need the writing of calligraphy. That also suggests vitality, energy of the line. Add a little more ink. It's more than I expected. Okay. And I see a weak stroke here. I need to make it up. Just straighten it. I think the difference between master and a student like me is the stroke quality. Every stroke is so confident. You can see there's no hesitation. Okay, I'm going to do the trunk part of this tree. Okay, this part is in the front, right? Read the painting correctly is so important. A lot of time you don't really see it or read it until you copy. So it's really a conversation as part of learning to copy the masters, to learn the stroke and to understand the composition. Okay, here's a negative shape. Very tight, very precise. These trees are very angular. That's the style of this artist and of this time, the Southern Song Dynasty. The line could do a lot of things, suggesting the depths, what's in the front, what's behind, by overlapping. And I see another triangular U-turn. It's so carefree, you know? Nothing really realistic, but everything is so reasonably real, following the natural of, trees or rock, everything. Okay, here it's another mistake I made. You don't want to make a crossing here. This is behind, right? So just make sure that does not come across, so you create confusion to avoid that kind of mistake. It's number one. See, the rule is simple. Do the front first. But sometimes like this, I could this long one and then make it across. And this kind of 3-stroke set you see everywhere. It's one long, one short, one medium, large, small, and medium. It's the same principle is taught by art teachers even today. The 3 we call it rhythm, and here some crossing, just like writing characters for them. And there's a character, we call it Nu. This character is a woman. If you go to China, you will see this ladies' room sign. Yeah, that's the crossing of branches in plum blossom. There's a saying that without this character, there's no plum tree could be done. So they try to identify this character. Okay, here there's another tree behind. So I'm not going to use the same ink to keep them separate. So I only do the front tree right now using pure black or 90% ink. 100% ink. Okay. Am I out of photos? Comments. Looks like a quite detailed piece. Yes, it is. I call it Gombi, but it's not. How to say? It's still spontaneous Gombi, not like a template. They may be not templates to start with. Maybe a draft. Yeah, but it's still very free. Could be. So you don't really take more than one take to do this kind of branches. Okay, I think I got confused of which one is the main branch. I should do that thicker. There always hierarchy of host and guest, dominance, rule of dominance. The branches always cannot. And major stroke is, oh, this branch is a thicker stroke. Alright, here's a U. It's always like a triangular crossing. But this is more natural. Okay, and then some dots along the twigs. Could suggest these buds or whatever. Actually, the white dots later will add as flowers, because in the proportion you really can't do the petals. You can see the petals. It's a plum blossom by the gesture of this these branches. I did this painting in class. I'm not sure if I did in 2 sessions or 1. I forgot. I think it should be 2, right? But I was always trying to do it in 1 hour. That's probably not possible. I have to. I think I did in 2 sessions. Now I remember. Okay, the trunk should be a little bit stronger, but it's behind. Okay, I'll do the texture a little more. Okay, right now you can see that kind of pattern. The bark on the trunk is vertical. If it's horizontal, I think it will be more like a cherry, because people in the ancient time really serious got to this kind of botanic characteristics of different flowers or trees. Yeah, here we got some horizontal wrinkles. Looks more similar to peach and cherry. Anyway, it's probably not so distinguished. Okay, you can use dry brush. Even with the same tone value of ink, with dry brush, it's kind of lighter, appears lighter. You do some bar. You might call it shading or shaping stroke. Texture, surface texture stroke. Still concentrate on the text, not light, the texture. Yeah. Dry brush. Okay. Suggest details. Hatching, some kind of hatching strokes, but not scratching. I hate too much scratching without stroke. That's pure shading, right? You might use soft ink like coloring, but at this point I do only the texture wrinkles. 村 in Chinese, wrinkles. Like hatching with some mouse dots. It's a very Van Goghish stroke. You see Van Gogh's cherry blossom has this kind of texture also. He has got influenced by Japanese woodblock prints, and Japanese woodblock prints basically in the same lineage of Chinese landscape painting. Okay, that's the main tree. Oh, here's some branches on this. It's all the way here. This is not the rock, because we use different stroke for the tree and the rock. Here's some crossing, so abstract. You can borrow this directly into your, in your watercolor scenery painting, and it will make a great difference than those rigor brush strokes like that. Just childish, right? Compared to this kind of these guys who does this 1,000 years ago. And this material, like paper or silk, really last, preserve well in, but few of those survive. But still, when they do survive from a war, from looting from other natural disasters or human events, they really can survive 1,000 years, no problem. Compared to oil, no less. Especially they are small. Some are huge, murals or scrolls. Okay, there are bamboo behind. We'll use different tone, a different kind of stroke. Now let's do this. Let me see. Let me do this rock, because we usually go from dark to light, not from light to dark. That's the opposite of watercolor. Any questions? Okay. This is what we call the X-cut strokes. X-cut. Is there an E? No. Anyway, X is like the cutting tool. It describes the trace of this brush stroke like left over on a wood log by X. Okay, and I'm going to dilute this. Okay, I'll just use this brush to get some water. We need to. I think if it's 10, this might be 8 to 9. That's probably it. Let me use a larger brush. This medium size. Okay. And I can make it flat a little bit. And you go like this. There are two ways. One in Ma Yuan's style, as you can see here, it's done like this. Okay, it's not like this. This is the side way. This one, yeah. So I use split head brush. Split head. You can use even larger ones. Let's just do this. But you need to have a contour first, so you know where to do the shaping. Okay, diluted it a little bit. When you do the rock, okay, here's my teaching notes. I already taught this in the class. It goes, when you do a rock, just like draw a triangle, you go from the lower left to the lower right, like that, and then the bottom. So this is the direction. Up, down, and bottom. The contour and then the inner part. Okay, so this is pretty dry and light, not too light. So it's behind these branches, so we want to distinguish them with different tonality. Okay, that's it. Lower left, up, and then just like that. I think it's too wet. You have to do it fast. Try to do the contour first. Dry brush. Okay. Okay, I use this larger one. Different plants here on the sides and in the front. So you cut and then draw. Cutting just like that. this is in the front of this trunk. It's very important to note, because right across those branches and goes down. Soft ending, and here's a slope. Steep cliff, kind of. Some moss dots. Okay. And the imperfections could be hidden with just moss dots. Notice the rhythm, the dance and the sparse of those. And the good moustache is standing on, it's not flat. So you must just like how you start a long stroke, that nail head stroke, you hide the tip. It's like that. The dance is sparse. And here some more. And there can be okay. Dry brush for very light. X cut stroke. Here, just like that. I could remove this template here. And here's a rounded, kind of rounded rock. Maybe rounded. Okay, here is a detail you might have missed, or I have missed. This is the tree that it's not a rock. This is the tree that goes behind this rock, and here's its root. So if you read it wrong, I thought it's a rounded rock, because I noticed the different quality between the two. I think I just forgot that I did caution them in the class. So this part is the upper side of the trunk, and the lower part is here. Okay, and then the tree roots here. You have to really understand it, and it's all script, it's just like those branches. The tree root is also a script language. With this, just a few strokes, creating the symbol of root. a clean typic earth. So this tree is not good. It's rooted, not in the air. Okay, now we just do some trunk, like same kind of stroke shading like that. Brush, dry brush. Try to give a sense of roundness. I see something like this, but it's not obvious. All right, and if you make a mistake, I try to maybe lighten it or wash it out. Lifting it, it's possible on the silk. I think maybe you can use a tissue also. I'm not trying to mess up this, but you can do that if you want. Okay, now I'm going to do this rock here. We can just use very light ink to start with. And I want to make sure I understand the structure here that goes like behind the squarish shape, triangular shape. Yeah, so very angular shape. You want to make sure it's lighter than the branch, but it's not too light. It's still darker than the distant mountain. So value is very important in any painting, any media, any culture. Some part it could be free, doesn't matter. It's just a rock, you know. But the composition is very important, like a tangent. Something you want to avoid. Dimension, the top plan, the side plan, division line. I talked about the division line a lot. If you record that character, the Y, now it's time to find that Y. X cut is really hard. Whoa, that's too long. Ma Yuan is known as a great X cut stroke. Sha Gui is maybe also, but some Li Tang maybe as a lesser X cut. Look at that, those powerful lines. Just I wish I had that kind of spontaneity someday. And some artists, even in the early 40s, they start introduce Southern Dynasty landscape style into drawing, like a stage setting design for Bambi. Also the deer, the animation. The artist's name is in my mind is Tyrus Wong. Tyrus Wong, yeah, really pioneer in Hollywood. He introduced this style. He's probably learned here. I think he was a child when he come to this country from with his parents, but he probably have chance to learn how to hold the brush or writing characters. But he with that basic stroke training, he get into the Southern Dynasty painting easily and use those tree and rocks in his setting design and several Hollywood classics. Yeah. Okay. Tyrus Wong. Tyrus, yeah. He had. I saw a documentary maybe 5 years ago. Because one of my friend's son was the actor played the young Tyrus in the movie documentary. So we went to see the premiere. That was great, and I think the simplicity of this painting is, what Tyrus Wong was inspired. Okay, and this is called Handouts. It's used to fix and to connect, to create rhythm. So you got line and the dots, just like a violin and the drum in music. Okay, this is a hole. Okay, here's some confusing part I want to talk about. There's a hut. I think this is the hut. This part. This is the umbrella kind of top with the structure like a little bamboo or something, and that's the roof, and this is the trail. Here's the rock roadside. Okay, and sand. And these are all in the background, so it's going to be lighter. And this brush, it's not easy to split, unless you really want. You can get this kind of scratching. You have to make it really dry, and you can use the fingertip to split it. So you can draw this kind of X-cut strokes. But for those outlines, it holds together so well. I form a sharp point, almost like a brush pen kind of, but it's not the soft jet, like one plastic. It's bristle, synthetic bristle though. Okay. Move this around so you can see that the thatch, this little cottage or kind of know what building it is. I know this is the rooftop, and we have this roof here. It's just white, maybe a little bit brown. Hi, Ruby Reds from Canada. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm doing this fan for fun, just for the fun. Okay, then you can put some dots, just indicate the top plane, maybe like that. They should be squares, but I don't think you will see those details in this proportion. Okay, I'm going to do the walk, what we call the entrance. So you go from the hotel, from the residence, whatever, or still going out to that platform where you watch. He watched the moon and the tree. So let's see, where's my color reference? Okay, this is pretty soft. It's the earth part. It's not as squarish as those rocky part. This upper part is kind of hard. Okay, then we have this. Okay, when you're not sure the structure, think about the character that this character, heel. In Chinese, chu. So here's a chu. That's what I see in my eyes. 1, 2. It must be like what I mentioned like that. So this is the chu. And you see this character everywhere in classical Chinese landscape. This underlying structure of the earth, mountains, or any formation. Pattern everywhere, and this X cut can go a little bit further. Oops, I think it should go with the structure. Okay, what's in the front? This one is front, right? A little bit darker. Here, mustache. Moss, M-O-S-S. Okay. Okay, this painting is 1,000 years old, so there must be some missing and then repair something. So we're not really sure. There's some ambiguity here, and I'm not going to clarify those. Just paint it ambiguously. Don't ask me what's what. It's bushes or um, I see some grass kind of fence or something there. So let's just copy what I see. So this is a tree here. It's probably behind a straw pile of straw or something. I really don't know. Just here is the visible part. Start this trunk. It's very light, right? Okay, make sure it's light. Light and goes up. Okay, and then a double-lined trunk goes all the way. This must be light, right behind this group of branches that form a tight spot. Really, you might call it tangent. Okay. This part is pretty clear. Here, several ni are the character like a woman, triangular crossing. But I try to keep them angular or straight to show the woody trunk branches, and really don't care about the crossing lines. Tangent again, but it's fine. Long, short lines, like a fork, but different lengths. Or you may call chicken feet, but not the same angle, same length. The chicken feet actually is the shape we need to avoid. A lot of let's give a nicer name, maybe crane feet or whatever you name it. Those fork twigs. See this 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I like this 10. And here's the character ni, woman. Oh, this one goes kind of down. Some angle I never do that. Oh, you probably not cannot believe this. But if you go to a Plum orchard, you will see more different crossings. Unbelievable crossings like this. Just nature is wonderful. Just full of wonder. Just be creative. Depends on your need. You can make the branch turn back to stop the viewer, or go outside the frame to lead the viewer's eye into infinity. Don't stop at the edge. and then pointing the viewer towards the sky where the moon is shining. This is all kind of directional lines. Okay. Okay. Here we have the contrast between light and the dark. So dramatic. So you have to make these lines very light. Not too light to lose the bone of woody tree, but kind of light compared to what we had in the front. This could be more freer, but make sure they are not too thick, not too dark. These are really from natural. I see this all the time in the woods. This kind of shape, like birds, cars. And see, this tangent is intentional. Just continue that branch in the front. And long, keep it long, short, and medium. Okay. It's okay to not trace, the template, but the movement must be correct. The direction must be followed. And here's another direction. I don't know what exactly it is, but just some branches, just some trunk behind, some dense part, and some sash, some straw, something there. Okay, here's the branch from the tree. This is a branch, and some little twigs. Okay, and here is I got that first. That's good. This behind this something here. This little branch. So which tree is this? It's very important. That's different. Okay, let's see. And what we have here. If you're not sure, dry brush. Just dry brush. And then blur it with some water. And the rhythm is still, important. So some the shades. So this will go under the rock. It's the background. This rock is on top of this road. Yeah, something like that. So this one go to some bamboo now. Lots of details, and you will never notice until you paint it. Okay, it looks easy, but not really. This is a masterpiece by Ma Yuan, the Southern Song School of Landscape founder. Have a strong influence in Japan. Japanese painting looks more like this, right? Because Southern Song Dynasty influenced the Ming Dynasty. And Ming Dynasty is the time where Seshu come to China to learn. And he had copied many Xia Gui and Ma Yuan's painting brought back to Japan. And also in the Yuan dynasty, some artists may escape to Japan and brought this style with them. Like who's the name of the famous monk who did the monkey? I just forgot. He will come back. And he's not so well known in China, but was regarded as the founder of sumie in Japan. Okay, I have a question. Oh, that's the southern. Okay, Nanyin is the Zhejiang province style is supposed to be a continuation of the Southern Song Dynasty style in the Ming court. Actually, the Ming Dynasty tried to restore the Southern Song tradition, and different from the Yuan Dynasty. I don't know Gulei. I don't know this word. Gulei painting. I never heard of this. Maybe you spell wrong. Never heard of that term. Okay. And now I see some details on this sash roof. Something like this. Okay. Radiate from the top. Okay, this must be radiate from the center. It's like umbrella. Okay. This is behind, below this trail. So you can go from bottom up, as long as the structure is followed. What's that? Is the name of a person? G-U-O-L-E. It's an English word. I don't know. Let me Google it. What's this? What does that mean? It's a misspelled word. I don't know. Where do you get that? How do you pronounce it? Guolei? It's a pinyin? No, it's not a pinyin. I have no idea what's that. A gola, you mean? A gola means outline. Gola painting. Gola means contour, right? I think it's a Chinese term for go and le. There are many interpretations. If you do a research work, that's a good research topic. I just talked about moments ago. This is go. This is go. Le. Go. Le. you should join my class. I can teach you all this. Okay, this is go. See my arrow? So this is go le. This is my one interpretation. Some says the go is the it's like this, you know, it's incestuous painting. You see that? It's go le, go le. Go means to draw the outline, and le means to complete it, to close it up, to tighten it. Sometimes you have that, sometimes you don't, because in the water you don't have that stroke. If it's on the ground, yeah, you might have seen that. So this is go le. Go le is the fundamental. Go le. Go le. Two actions, but as a single verb, it refers to the contour drawing outline in Gongbi also, yeah. And le is kind of to end, yeah. Go is to start of a line. Like we start with like that. So this action is called go le, outline. Without go le, it's boneless. Boneless means no outline. So go le is really the fundamental of Chinese brush painting technique. You don't see this in watercolor, because watercolor start with wash, so with light. You might add some dark, but that's not for contour. Like it doesn't exist. Contour does not exist in natural. But it's very effective in depicting depths and visual experience. It could be very realistic. It has a lot of reasons, like the line for rock is rough, line for leaves is fluent, for water is fluent. So that's all part of the go le technique. So using different line quality to depict different objects, according to different objects, using different line. Okay. Now let's do this. Let me finish the tree on this side first. Sundi's outline, contour of bamboo. Yeah, go le just means the outline. Okay, hope you good luck with your research. Go le is a Chinese term. That's why you cannot find it in the English dictionary. Okay, let me put my reference here. Okay, I'm going to draw to go to outline the person here, and in drawing the garment, we have so-called 18 different go le styles, outline styles. Most commonly, the nail head and rat tail lines, the arched leaf lines, and the iron wire, the metal iron wire lines means equal width lines. The other ones are usually depicted to the different kind of variation or pressure created lines. This is more like the 高古优四, the what's it called, spider web line. I think if you enlarge it, you will see little like a nail head, obviously, on this walking stick. Yeah, so it should be. It depends on the quality of the garment. In the men's garment, usually we use this kind of angular lines called whatever. You can find this in the reference book called Mustard Seeds Garden Manual of Painting. This is Beard Man, and this is a little helper who carries a chain, the music instrument of ancient China. It's called Gu Qing, 7-string zither is the English name. And 20 years ago, it got UN's recognition as the non-material or material, I forgot, heritage, human cultural heritage status. 20 years ago, it's the ancient, probably the only Chinese origin music instrument. And this is the chain in the carried by this. It's a whole piece of wood. Actually, 2 pieces of them, different wood. This is wrapped in the fabric. Anyway, this is the instrument, and there's famous piece called 3 Variations of the Plum Blossom. This will be the occasion. You will hear that. And the 3 variations are titled Crossing the Clouds or Mist, Viewing the Moon, Across the River, or Penetrating the Mist. That's the first one, I think. Crossing river, viewing the moon. So this really reminded me of that music. Let me get a piece of tissue. You just learned a trick. You can blot on this kind of sized paper or sized silk to control the value. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do the mountain first. I thought I would do the tree, but if I do the tree first, I may be hesitant to to do the mountains, to blur up the tree. So I do the mountain first, the tree later. Just follow the watercolor sequence. Okay. I'm not sure what the original painter did, but here's what my solution to avoid to keep the misty mountains kind of smooth. So I'm going to wash with clean water just down here, and then start the contour. Go the contour with a little bit darker, not too much. But it's not too light though, because it's a night landscape. Let me see. It should be lighter than, it's actually darker than this one. Okay, I just realized that. Let's do that. This stroke is pretty dark. And you can use two brush technique. This is how I do it, using the double wash technique, gradation technique. This color is obvious. See that angular line? It's not washed. It's color outlined, and you can just pull this line a little bit blurry. I think I should use more ink. And before it gets dry, you pull the inner line, blur it. And just add a little bit. Okay, let's just pull the inside towards. You can use some ink, but very, very light. Okay, I'll just draw this first and go. Yeah, you're a Korean art history. Okay, Korean art is also influenced by Chinese. So we have the same tools, right? Korean modern art, how modern? I don't know. I like 1940s, 90s, early 20th century Korean. They are very good. And from those paintings, also they're from Japanese modern art, I learned how to adapt to the Western, the challenge we all face after opening the port to the West. Okay, now just gradation. It's okay to leave brush strokes, but as long as it's smooth, then you can use water to kind of blur into voids. And here we will have a little bit gray to foil out the white garment. It's a little bit too dark. I'm going to emphasize on this. Okay. And this background is okay. There's some green in it. It's colored, but we can use ink to start with because it's night landscape, moonlit landscape. We can just start with some shading. Very light. Whoops! I dropped my I dropped my brush. That's okay. I didn't put in the empty spot. That would be disastrous. That's worst thing is to you use this technique, but you're not really good at it, and it dropped. Oh, I think there's a drop there. We can make it into a branch. No problem. Okay, the last layer of the mountain is kind of blue, so I'm not going to use any ink. I'll just use color for now. Let's just use whatever I got in hand. This is a watercolor, very contemporary. It's cool, QRE. It's made by the Golden Company, Golden brand, Golden acrylic company. This watercolor, but it's very, very strong pigmented watercolor. So you can see this. I think it needs to be drying first. Let's just do this part. Just testing the color. This is pretty cool. Okay. It's supposed to be transparent watercolor. So normally I do the brown first, so the blue on top. But you can also do the opposite. I guess let me just use different brush. I'll use liner, Gombi liner for washing. It's okay. I just got some brown color, maybe mix of amber and some yellow ochre. It's very light, very lightly colored the foreground. It could be muted with a little bit blue. And that's it. You don't want to use too much water. So Chinese painting, we don't leave extra moisture on the surface to create puddle marks. I think in watercolor too, but sometimes watercolor uses a lot of water. I know that. Okay, this part is a little warmer. You can add just a little bit more red. Oops, can you see it? Okay. And this yellow, I think, straw roof. You can just use amber. I leave that white fabric or something. I don't know. Actually, that part is blue, a little bit maybe. Oh, the blue is on top. So let's do that. This is the bamboo or something stick out. That's it. And okay, I'm gonna do the distant mountain with this cerulean blue with a little bit neutral. Okay, we don't have anything on top of this fan, just here. And I do see a very thin, very fine line. Yeah, I think we probably will go again first. Just very fine. And you can use this small brush. This 3 brush I'm using is the first time I tested this in this. I think I like it. Okay, just see how fine this is. It goes down. And here is where it continues. The chi must go in, and another tangent, intentional. Cool. Okay, I got that dropping mark. I just leave it, no matter what. It could be a flying leaf or something. Original painting, you always have this, and then you can easily remove it on prints with Photoshop these days. I don't really want to fuss with that. Okay, and here's the heel slope all the way to this. Oh, actually cut off. Mine is a little higher, and the original just and right below this rooftop. It's wonderful design. How smart this ancient master is. Everything's seamless. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna clean my brush here, so no more outline. Oh, here's another. I just leave it the last. Maybe after I color it, I do this tree. Okay, let's just color it. So we just color it with blue. You don't want to void these branches. That's why I do it before I do the branch. This is pretty saturated. Consider it's a moon landscape, because you want people to see, not to really darken it to the point you don't really see anything. All right. So this contour is emphasized. And then you can use a clean brush, a separate brush, or just wash it and then just pull it. You can use a little bit light. Don't leave any water on the surface. And I see some brown on the bottom, so just connect. There might be some warm reflective light. I don't think the Chinese know this kind of term, but I try to connect, to find the commonalities between two traditions. It could be a little bit red in it. So some lavender. Not all strokes are wet. Could be some part, it shows the stroke dry. But usually on distant mountain, they're generally wetter, more moisture. Okay. I have to take a phone call maybe. Can't stop it right now. Okay, so this it will dry lighter, but how light you want? I just want to create a gradation. Okay, if you keep working, they might get the size may be destroyed, so be a little careful with that. This person wearing a white, I just leave it unpainted, so that would be fine. And we just use some orange color for the face. Very light, very light. There's a little bit cut as blue, and after it dries, do that. I'm not sure about hand. I don't see hand on this person. All right, I'm going to do the tree trunk. Let's do brown first, then the quartz. We just do the lower part, reflective light. And some, because it's easy to cover the brown with green, with blue ink. We just start with something light. The space. You see how light this color is. I just want to keep the ink effect, so we don't lose that color contour. Color is the verb for outline, and we do see a moon here that's outlined right here with light ink. And I think they might have washed the whole thing with a very light green on top. Let's see, that could be, yeah, I think that's the case. But I will wait until the last to do that, to see if I need to do that. So let's just fill in this distant mountain. I tried to do it in maybe in one stroke. If I load dark, a little bit dark on the tip, see if I can do it just one stroke. It's gradation. I think it kept a linear style, so it's not really a block painting. That's interesting. So the line don't have to be blended into the dimension, the surface. In this kind of painting. Okay, you want to use very soft yellowish color to yellowish, what do you call this, birch color. Just some gray, nice gray. Green. You can have some green, yellow, just very light. So just some vegetation. It's got some sap green or whatever. Okay. And to the color according to kinds, means same kind of objects, same color. So just finish all the fans of whatever building related color here. And you can have some warm color here in the distance. Got some opaque white there. It's probably too much, but it will be nice to have create some kind of haze in the horizon. Just like here, behind this rock. Okay. That push the mountain a little far, and here, see, just a little bit haze to separate the two layers. Okay, that's a little bit over. Just brought it. Saturation, and what we call this the brightness is, I need to grade it down, mute it. Yeah, so it's not so much vibrancy. Okay, I need to continue this, mute it. And here, remember the root and the trunk is one color. So, and also I vary the color with yellow and red and blue. So I got a little bit red, a little bit blue, and a little bit yellow. Okay. And that's the front. This is the rock in the foreground. This one should have some brown there. Just I think I use larger brush. Keep them light. You don't need that much color here. Let it dry. Then you add blue to change the temperature. Okay, I think we need to finish this front. She's still not dark enough. Because this is the profile behind the whole thing. So this one behind, it's darker. It's kind of purplish blue because they don't want to exceed the contour line. You just want to fill in the blank. And here's the shading part. Dark against light. Yeah, here's the shading. Shading. overlapping, the template gets out of the place. Create a double line, that's confusing. Okay, you see this front is darker. Okay. Whoops, this is too dark. Anyway, let's just make it dark. So you have to kind of adjust everywhere when you make a mistake or something. I was referring here, my rock gets too dark here. Great. I'm wearing something on top of it. And you can use color to shade a little bit. This Gucci wrapped blue fabric, and he's here wearing some foot. Okay, blue rock. So much detail, huh? Okay, let's do this. Wall. light blue, some smear. Okay. Crossing line, good. And this trail could be yellow or brownish, whatever, gray. Okay. I'll just make this part maybe a little purplish blue, so it can be white. Make the top a little bit darker, or with some shading. Dry brush if you're not sure. Dry brush. Oops, not dry. Alright, anyway. This should be brown, dead, vine, lichens, whatever. Tree. Indicated the edge of this old tree. Okay. just highlight this line with a little bit gray, blue gray. Okay, I forgot this tree we still need to make up on this. You can still see it, right? Okay, now it should be similar to this. Look at how angular this. The turns are squarish. And look at this. So effective. This I call it overcoming move. Like these two branch talk to each other. Like the Michelangelo's painting, the touching finger, welcoming each other. Okay. It's all pattern. After a while, you know the trick of. It's all. At first, you have to just copy one stroke by stroke, but look for pattern when you copy. So at later stage, you're into that. You see that kind of 3-stroke group everywhere. You can just do freehandedly without copy, but without copying the exact stroke, but the movement of the stroke, like that. These two should touch. Anyway. Try not to repeat, but if I have to, you can try to make it look like you have done without repeating. Okay, now the grass on the ground. So this trail goes from here to here. Okay, and then the green, very light, because it's in the night. You want to keep it not like a very muted. You can have a little bit blue on top. Okay, now we can have a little green here. And some blue on top. Okay, now the details of the bamboo. It's black, but very small. Okay, just use what we call this is extra small leaf vein stroke. I mean brush. It's similar to the basic small brush, but it's very small. Everybody knows the fundamentals of the bamboo leaf is three stroke. And it's a pattern. Okay, now this. It's like the Chinese character for individual. Good. Bamboo and plum, pine are three friends, right? Three friends of winter. Okay, here are some more. This is used to squeeze different planes also. Be careful not to confuse. That's it. Here there's another class of This masters used to modify the lines. You know, you can make the smooth line a little coarse, or break. You know, like this here is too smooth. Obviously, there were two dots there, one big and small. Usually, then we create rhythm, create nodes like edged feel of texture, and also this dots on the branch symbolize the calyx stems of the plum, and you may ask, where's the flower? Just a minute, I'm going to do that. Thanks for your patience. I'm going to enlarge this painting so you can see details like this. Okay, here some very pale whitish pink, and I see green on those dots also. Let's put the masters. There's some green color on the bamboo as well. You need to add that a little bit. And you see little dots of green and little dots of pink and see this flowers. So detailed. Even the small painting, everything is there. So we're going to do some green, some pink, I guess. We can use the tail and the blue and the yellow, and maybe a little bit muted. So I just use blue and the yellow to get some green color. And you can dot this. Just color those dots with the green. It would be fun. Just put it in the center, smaller than the dots. It's like embedding of diamond or treasure stone. This technique is called embedding. And you just put on some dots there, and some, and you can just color the bamboo a little bit. I think I will leave it alone, so we don't want too much color. And some the leaves are not coming out yet in the spring, but they might be bud. So this just to serve as a contrast to bring out the pink later. Anyway, just add those, and then we will have. There's green on this one as well. Just dilute it. It's lighter on the distant trees, but still a little bit green before we do the pink, whitish pink. Let me fill in some black here. Let's see. This trunk must be not so white. Just mute it. Okay. A little bit. Maybe a little brownish highlight on these branches as well. But you don't have to repeat. It has to be done with stroke. This kind of highlight. Same stroke as the original join. Okay, now the plum. Okay, let's do with let's use this brush. This one of the 3 brushes we have. And, like white is. I use this white. And now you can see the face, right? It's a very pale yellow. Oh, there's a white highlight on the garment. That's wonderful. It's so much detail, huh? Let me just do this white highlight first. So I just use almost pure out of the so instead of the whole garment, we just do a little bit highlight. Yeah, just around the, it's like shiny. Okay, let me just the color of the garment is be a little darker. And this is not red. So much detail. Oh, I wish you could see it. That's the closest I can get. And this guy had a little bit white on his chest, maybe a little bit on his Gucci side, reflecting the moon. I do see, you know, let me see. Yeah, some very pale wash. So I have to do this moon, this yellow, white, very, very light. Okay, just wash that. Yellow. Not cover the contour. Okay. Well, if we do the flowers, we have no chance to do the background, so we have to give it this how I can get away. I'll just do it on the other side. So let me just show you. So this is the painting without the template. So far, it's too white, right? I'll use a big brush. Just give it a little tinge of whatever blue gray color. Okay, maybe a little bit red to mute it. Very, very light. Yeah. So we just can do an overall paint, color on the back side of the silk. But I want to avoid, if this is on the back side, so it's okay to maybe paint straight over Anyway, I avoid a little circle and just bring this all the way down, not to the bottom because the worms there, so just on the top part around the moon. So that's the main reason we do this, just to show off just a little bit darker than the original silk will be fine. That's it. And we can use a little warm color to finish it. Just to avoid the hard edge, I just do something like that. Almost no color. Okay, now it's colored, right? It looks like a clouds there. That's okay. Maybe we just consider that as cloud. Just to make it warmer. Now you can see the moon is very clear, shining in the sky, just with a very little color. Right? On the back side, actually. Okay, let's dry it with a hair dryer. That moon is really shiny against the dark table. Okay, this garment need a little bit color. It's not too pure. It's like a natural hemp color. You know, we can just use some very pale brown. This little guy here. It's actually he's not wearing the white. He's a servant kind of. Okay, so it's a little bit bluish. That matches the chin color. And what about the Charles? Maybe a different color. Oops, that's too just refractive. All right, that's okay now. So just a little bit color on the shoulder. It should be a little darker than the background theoretically, I think. So you can make that white a little bit stronger. All right, that's it. I forgot to dot the plum. Okay, let's use this one. You don't really see this unless I nudge it. Oops, where's... Okay, now a little bit pink. Okay, now I'm going to dot the trees here. So this one very close to the viewer. So this must be sunflowers. And you can just dot with white and then the pink on top of that easily. I can just double load that to save a step. So David, the plum is very cool pink. So don't use too much red. And you can see on this handout, I mean this sample painting here. It will be a handout if I teach this class again. I already done this, and you can see the recording in 2 sessions in the spring. Okay, and the color for the flowers in the distance is just smaller. I think the same size could be fine. I mean, same tone could be fine. Not so important as the line value. And I think it could be even more red to contrast with the color here. Very sparse. If you paint it too much, it will look like cherry blossom. You know the difference between plum and the cherry. It's very cherry has more flowers, almost like ball shape. There's no individual dots. Just the whole thing, it's like covered with snow. And this is very sparse. You have to seek the flower. The first signal of the spring is the plum blossom in the winter. Let's see. Very small, almost none. Okay, this translucency of the silk. You have to look at against the white background to really see it. But when you use it against light, it's very nice to see through. Kind of translucent. You can see without the background is like this. Really pop, right? Okay. The last stage is called the awakening. You can use the pure dark, ink to reinstate missing outlines, contours, things like that, accenting some details if you like. But I think as a demo, it's enough to show you the process of this Southern Song masterpiece by Ma Yuan. I really enjoyed it. I was planning to do this in the original classroom setting, but you can see it takes too much time, so I not just do it on paper. If you like to take my class in summer quarter, the new class starts in next week, and on the 13th, and every Thursdays. And you're welcome to watch here on YouTube. And if you have questions and need personal help, you can sign up to my mailing list, so you'll get the same handouts before the class, and after class you can send me your finished work for critique. Okay, where the artist signed? I don't think he signed it. Oh, here we see the characters Ma Yuan behind this figure. I don't have room here on my. Maybe I can squeeze in there, just behind this figure. That's where he signed it, without the seal. Okay, let me just sign here. I'll just say mimic Ma Yuan. Mimic Ma Yuan. You can see the space gets so squeezed. Anyway, as you can see, part of the design is the signature. If I didn't leave enough room, better not to use it. Okay. And is there a place for a seal? Maybe just on the stones as my signature. Let me do that. right here. This also solves a problem of the dark. This ink, cinnabar ink, covers the ink. The sealed ink covers the dark, so it makes it look better to me. I'll show you the finished piece. And the whole fan, it's a functional palace fan with a wood handle that you can use for the summer. And now you can see the color on the sky is on the back side. It's very pale, but it's really bring out the moon efficiently. The original painting is 1,000 years old, so it turns yellow. It has more warm color behind the face. The new painting would look like this with just been done. So 1,000 years from now, my painting would look like that. You know, this is the aging is not a problem. It adds to the aesthetic in Chinese painting. Some artists, even like Shitao, even says this painting is will be viewable or getting better after 30 years. That's in his inscription. So they expect this kind of just like the color turns light when the paint is still wet. You expect the color to turn brown to make it more like antique. So we also have antique colored silk and the paper, if you wish, or time will do the trick for you. Don't worry. So thank you for following me, and if you're interested in the materials I used, you can get silk from our website. I do have a few fans, but not for sale. If you have a request, you can let me know. I may import more from China to carry them, but not for now. You may have other source online to get it, I think, if you like to try. But we have silk, we have sized shuan or Chicada wing shuan. It has almost the same as the silk. Okay, that's all for this lesson. See you in my class or online. Have a good summer. Happy painting.